welcome back to the interview. We are so excited. This is our second episode. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for inviting us into your homes, maybe on your phones. And we are just ready to get started. We've got some special guests lined up here for you today. And we want you to just sit back, relax, and just lay like a vegetable. So we are going to go ahead and get started. And we have some great topics to talk about here on the interview. And for those of you who hasn't tuned in or who haven't, tuned in, and this is their first show that they've seen with us, the interview is a show that is really meant to inspire and to capture our heart here in everyone's homes. We talk about politics, we talk about things that might be of interest to you, whether it's entertainment or it might be celebrity news or it might be something that's dear and local to you, whether it's local news or something that means something to you. So we are going to get started here and talk a little bit about our hot topics. And today it's going to be a little bit interesting because one of our special guests is going to join in on some of the subjects that we're going to be talking about for hot topics. And today I wanted to talk mostly about one of my favorite people in the political world today. And when we look at politics and we look at the election, what we're learning is that how do we know who's telling the truth? How do we know that facts are really facts? Where are we getting this information from? Is it real news or is it fake news? Who do we trust? And I am going to share with you my personal opinion and who I believe in and who I am rooting for in this election for 2020. So let's just learn a little bit about Cory Booker, because that's who I want to talk about today. I think Cory Booker is amazing. He's smart, he is intelligent, he is just a caring person. I don't know very many people that can go to an Ivy League school and then decide to live in Newark, New Jersey. If you've ever been there before, it's a great town. But when you have reached a certain level of income, why would you want to live in a place that is considered to be oppressed? So just for that reason alone, I give him thumbs up. And also, I think that it's amazing that he's not only caring to what's happening in the world around him with oppression, but he cares not only about people that are of color, but he cares about people in the world. He's well-traveled, he's well-spoken, and he's got some really great friends. So Cory Booker, for me, is a rarity. He's a diamond in the rough. And he's also vegan. We love vegans, yay! One day I hope to be a vegan, because when you're a vegan, you're responsible. You care about what you consume. You care about how you consume it. You're not judgmental to other people. You're just more conscious of what you eat. So for that reason alone, thumbs up, Cory. So moving on to our next topic, we're going to be just speaking a little bit about celebrity news. And for me, of course, because I'm the host of the show, I get to talk about topics that are of interest to me. I love the Will Smith family. I think Will Smith is amazing. I think Jada is amazing. And everything about their family, their kids, their life is awesome. They really believe in what they do, and they do it as a family. And I know I emphasize the word family a lot, but in today's society, I think that we don't give enough credit to families, especially families that have been criticized, and they still continue to go forward. So for our celebrity news, it's the Will Smith family. They have been very creative in how they look at the world and how they look at marketing and branding the family. And so I look to them just like I look to Noah, just like I look to Noah's family. Noah really believed in his family. And there was one scripture in the Bible where he was naked and his son covered him. So we should be covering each other as a family, just as the Will Smith family does, and just as Noah has done in the Bible. So moving on to our next topic, we're going to talk about something that's probably a little bit more serious, and that's about the mass shooting. It's about the horrible, horrific mass shootings that have happened in Texas in Ohio. We have got to do something, people. We have got to do more than just talk about this. We have got to stand up and love each other and hug each other and say we are not going to stand for this because we are better than this. We are Americans. Thanks, guys. We're going to head on to a break, and we will be back soon. Hi, welcome back to the interview. We are so excited to have you join us again. And we have our special guest here. It's Karamel Fluffyness. And she is a female comedian, which is really exciting because guess what? There aren't a lot of female comedians. As a matter of fact, most of the female comedians that we have seen on screen have a hard time making it in this industry. And today she's going to tell us a little bit about herself. She's going to talk about how she got into this. And we're just so excited. Thank you so much for coming to the interview.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this is awesome. I mean, I should tell you guys because obviously we're really getting to know each other well now. We know each other. We were childhood friends. We grew up together. And when I heard that she was going to be on the show, I was really excited because I'm like, how am I going to be professional now, right? Because she's going to make me laugh. So we're going to do our very best to try and be professional. Because I haven't seen you in so long. How did you get into comedian? How did you become a female comedian? This is great.
You know, I started honestly just making videos online, which nowadays that's really the way to get discovered, whether it's musically or comedy or anything involving entertainment. But I just started doing videos online. I really wanted to approach this ratchet comedy type of thing, and I eventually wanted to get to people writing me in or emailing me, and I could just go in and give them my personal opinion, but, you know, the ratchet version.
The ratchet version.
Right.
Okay.
And someone reached out to me, Corinne Collins in Lake County, and asked me to do a video for Carlos Smith, which is, he's a prominent name here in Lake County. Boy Lloyd's crazy, you know, from the Crazy Riot show. And I did a video roasting him. And it did some really good numbers here in the area, and I just started getting calls to do live shows. My first show was on a stage, Laugh Your Heart Out, about 3 years ago in front of over 300 people.
Wow.
And I met a few people, and I was told, you know, in 3 months, you'll be making money doing comedy. And in 60 days, I was a paid comedian.
Right, that's awesome. I mean, you know, I like to think that I'm funny, right? But I'm really not funny. How do you know if you're funny? Like, I mean, you've already made me laugh. We've not spent a whole lot of time, and I'm just like, how do you make people laugh?
Honestly, I believe the arts of comedy is two things. One, timing, and two, the unexpected.
Okay.
Most of the time you laugh because you didn't expect someone to say that or address that subject or, you know, go to that topic. So really when you're on stage and you're doing comedy and you're putting, you know, your set together, that's what you're thinking about. Your punchlines, timing, the content, and the art of surprise.
Sure. So being a female comedian, you can take a sad story and you can make a sad story sometimes not so sad, right? So, you know, I was talking a little bit about like the mass shootings and the rhetoric of Trump, you know, and this political, you know, world that we're seeing right now. It's really disappointing. But how would you turn that into laughter? Because Trump is our president. He's leading our country. He is, you know, he is what other countries see, you know, as a representation of who we are as Americans. How do you make someone laugh?
How do you make someone laugh about Trump? If he spent more time consulting black people about that little toupee on his head, it might be a little better for him, and life wouldn't be flying all over the place, baby, because my wig don't move at all.
I hear you. He's got a lot going on. You know, I feel like with Trump, you know, I feel like it's serious for a lot of people that have been hurt by some of the things that he said, and then the actions that have been taken. Do you have any advice for Trump?
Honestly, I think Trump does a lot of things just for antics, just to build his popularity up, for clout, pretty much like the rest of us on things we post on social media. But all I have to say about politics and mass shootings and all this detriment that people want to do in this world, why don't y'all ever target the Department of Education so that they can get rid of all these student loans? Get rid of some student loans.
Yeah.
Quit killing people and kill my debt. Okay.
Exactly. Thank you. Let's kill the debt.
Kill the
Okay.
debt.
Thank
Not
you.
people. Kill debt.
Kill debt. Okay, great. So what has it been like being a female comedian, right? Because that was the big key thing. Female comedian.
Well, you are right about that. Men do dominate, comedy from a national standpoint. But there are a lot of female comedians, honestly. We just don't get as much, visual and optics as the men do. But there are women, especially all over Chicago, and Chicago is like a beacon for comedy. There are so many funny women out there. I personally just love it. I exude the comedy. I just use my natural personality to make people laugh. I never in my life ever thought I was going to be a comedian. It just was thrusted upon me. Is that a word, thrusted?
So I should also, full disclosure here, because, your name makes me think of your grandmother, who's, late and passed away, may she rest in peace. And she used to make these amazing caramel pies and cakes, and oh my God, they were just so good, right?
And you just got to taste it. You weren't growing up in the house surrounded by food all the time. Growing up in the church, we hardly couldn't do anything. But in my grandma's house, at least we could eat.
Yeah, that's true. We were church girls. That's what we were. So okay, so let's talk a little bit about that, right? So you're female, you're a comedian, and you were a church girl. How does those things go hand in hand? Because you have to make people laugh, but you can't swear?
Well, I swear, okay? I was a church girl, but as a grown woman, I definitely ain't no church woman, okay?
Okay, all right. So is there like a tight line that you walk when you're in a crowd full of people that are maybe more conservative, or how do you balance that?
I don't balance. I just be myself. I don't walk a thin line. I don't walk eggshells or nothing. I am me. Either you like it or you don't. If I offend, your offensive feeling is all on you. They ain't got nothing to do with me. So,
right.
And that's what I love about comedy. It kind of gives you that green light to say whatever or do whatever for the most part.
Right.
That is the comedy in it. It's taboo. You're talking about things that we're not supposed to address.
Right, and yeah. So what is the industry like for, like, okay, let's say that I wanted to be a comedian, right? What would the industry be like for me? What was it like for you when you got into this industry?
Well, I would say I'm still breaking into the industry. I've gotten a lot of local success, which, is really a blessing. But I would say the main thing is to brand yourself. At the end of the day, you're still a business. So as a business, you need to operate as such. You need to patent your name. You need to promotional items, build your social media, advertise yourself, and be authentic. It's so easy to copy someone else's style, which is why I don't listen to other comedians anymore. Even if I go to a show and I'm on a roster of 10 comedians, I will not listen to either one of their sets because I always want to make sure that I'm authentic. It's so easy to copy someone else and, oh, girl, you're so funny, but you didn't even write that. I write all of my material. So I make sure that everything that I do is authentic.
That's awesome. So, okay, if I wanted to make a man laugh, right? Mm-hmm. If I wanted to make a man laugh, is there something that I could do or that I could say that could make a man laugh?
I mean, it is something you could do, but I don't think it's good for cable access television. It involves the pinky, but, girl, you can think of a few things.
All right, so if I wanted to be more subtle, right? and I wanted to kind of come in with more of like a Dorothy-ish.
That's a mom way, okay.
A way of kind of making a guy laugh without being, sexual.
Okay.
Until the end, of course.
You could be like, you know, babe, I want to cook you a dinner. You might not eat it, but I want to cook it for you. He gonna laugh, but then he gonna think, oh, you can't cook?
Right.
But just be yourself. Sometimes it could be, you know, you just observe something and say something funny about it. I feel like laughter is always something that should be natural. I don't see how you could force someone to laugh unless you're tickling them. Back to that thing that you could do, but I don't think it's good for.
Okay. All right. So, you know, I hope that you can join us for some of our hot topics, because I really wanted to talk a little bit about the politics in the world as it relates to Cory Booker.
Okay.
Because Cory Booker is so, again, talented. And if I wanted a date with Cory Booker, what would I have to do to get him to notice me?
I don't know, because these politicians nowadays, all you have to do is show up almost naked and they be willing. But I would say if you wanted to get his attention, start a conversation with him and talk about his accolades. For some reason, men like when you praise them, especially when first meeting them. He's gonna want to know why do you know so much about me? That's gonna make him want to learn more about you.
Well, because he's, first of all, vegan.
He's vegan. What's that?
He likes to be responsible with what he takes in.
Is that
what he
right?
Eats.
That's what vegan means, to be responsible?
I think that he is a very responsible person.
Honey, vegan means you hungry, okay? That's what vegan means, all right? It ain't enough vegetables or fruit in the world to fill me up, baby. I need some meat, some with some legs, some teeth, something.
Well, you know what? It's really hard to go anywhere from there. I still like Cory Booker.
I like him too, okay? He's single. You know he got a job because he a politician, and you know, girl, he got the fringe benefits. That mean that 401k is on fleek.
Well, okay, so tell me, moving on to our next topic. What's it like being a comedian? Like, I mean, what's that world like for you? Because it's hard to be serious. It's really hard, honestly, to do it. To sit here with someone that I know, first of all, right? And that's funny, right? And to have a conversation that's meant to entertain, because I'm entertaining myself just sitting here talking to you. So how can you be serious and do your job? Because this is a business, right? You're in business to make people laugh, and still at the same time be serious.
Well, first of all, I always make sure I handle the business first. Whenever I do a job, I make sure I have my contracts in place. I know what time I should be there, what's expected of me, so on and so forth. But being a comedian, my job is to be funny. My job is to entertain you. But I can't shut it on and shut it off, because this is just my business. I still have a 9 to 5, you know, I still have a part-time job. So I honestly really just don't take myself super seriously. I don't take a lot of things in life super seriously unless you're messing with my money. Then I get serious.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think we all get serious. Well, if let me ask you this, how far would you go?
How far would I go? For what?
In the world of comedy, when your money is messed up, because that is, for a woman, it is extremely hard to be a comedian and get paid the money that you are deserved of.
That's why I have contracts. So when you call me to hire me for a job, I set my price. You either agree to pay my price or you don't agree to pay my price. If you agree to pay my price, I write it up, I put it in writing, and we both sign it with a clause that says, you know, if I cancel on the performance, you know, and don't give you enough time or something like that, that I will reimburse you the exact fee I was asking, because I consider things about you having to pay for venues and other artists and promotion and things like that. So I make sure that my contract is standing, but it's also fair.
Sure.
So I handle my business first. After that, it's, baby, all the gloves is off. I'm ready to get it in, make you laugh.
Right, okay. So, okay, moving on to like maybe more of a serious topic, but I don't know if it's something that you can make us laugh on, but it's the mass shooting. How do you, if this mass shooting, right, it's awful. All those people died, right? I mean, this is innocent people, right? They died at the hands of a madman. You know, what would you do to make people look at this on a lighter side?
Stop killing people. Matter of fact, how come y'all can't aim towards some of my bill collectors, you know? Like Sally Mae, you know, Chase credit cards, CEO, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's, you know, and that's. Do you think that Trump is funny, or you think he's a joke, or you think he's serious?
I think Trump is a genius. I mean, at the end of the day, we might not like him personally because of the things that he tries to promote, but he's a smart businessman, and this country is a business, and he came in, and I think that he's doing good for our economy. I mean, anybody who can get the gas down below 250 is my friend.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, what do you think about his wife?
His wife?
Yeah.
My thing is if you don't like foreigners so much, why did you go get you a foreign wife?
I don't know. The duality of words, they sometimes work. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining in. Here with our wonderful guest, Karamel Fluffyness, and we have been actually enjoying ourselves on the break, getting a good laugh in, because what I can tell you is that it is liberating not only being a woman, but being a female comedian woman, because she has said some things that is so funny that men say and men get away with. However, you know, she's a woman. So tell us, what's it like being a woman and being a comedian?
Well, first off, I love being a woman, maybe except every third week of the month. But other than that, I love being a woman. Just everything about being tall, curvy, you know, demanding attention. When I walk in the room, honey, it's a grand entrance wherever I go. Feast your eyes on all of this. That, and you can't miss me when I walk in either.
Right. Okay, so all right, so being a woman, and it's right, you obviously you have the stage presence, you know, you can walk in and people notice you, right? You know, is that what we define as feminism? Do you think that is what we call feminism?
In a way, because being a female, especially in the entertainment business, period, you have to watch out for people trying to take advantage of you. And being a woman, and with it being male dominated, sometimes they want you to do things that you possibly wouldn't be open to doing just to get an opportunity.
Okay, so
and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I probably don't get a lot of it because they don't prefer us bigger women, but
give me an example of what you mean, or a scenario that actually happened.
So you want me to tell my business on cable access television? This Lake County, they gonna know who I'm talking about. No, but
no names. We won't give any names.
I have had someone who wanted me to do favors in order to get, you know, a few more opportunities.
Favors, okay.
Favors.
Okay.
You know what kind of favors I'm talking about? You know, like the banana challenge, like the cucumber challenge, them kind of favors.
Oh, okay. For a spot. So what do you say as a woman to a man that wants that? What do we say?
What time you want
what
me
do
to
we
meet
say
you?
to men?
What time you want me to be there? And bring snacks.
Okay, well, I mean, that's one of the many things we could say, or we could, you know.
How big is the bag of chips?
So, okay, so moving on. Tell me about what it's like being a woman, right? Because you're working, you're a comedian, you're working a job, right? Mm-hmm. Are you working in corporate America, or What's that like? Can you use your humor in the workplace?
Well, yes, I work in corporate America. I've been working in corporate America for almost 20 years. Wow, I can't believe I'm that old, but yeah, almost 20 years. I work currently as an analyst. I build benefit websites for the company that I worked for. I'm going to keep the name private to protect the innocent and the guilty. But I actually use my humor in the workplace all of the time. It's actually given me an edge up on, a lot of my coworkers, but it has also allowed me the opportunity to change the culture in the workplace.
Okay.
I also am able to bring in more fun activities to kind of break up the monotony of, being stressed out in corporate America, sitting in these business meetings that could have been an email, things like that. So I've always had the opportunity to use humor in the workplace. I have to be careful more now and keep a lot of things separate because being a comedian, I do say a lot of things that are inappropriate and could be deemed, as a bad view on my company. So it's sometimes it's kind of hard to be like, oh, can't say that, oh, can't post that, oh, can't do that.
Okay, so, all right, ladies, we're going to give you a pointer today, okay? We're going to give you a pointer so you can learn how to be funny in the workplace when you're in a meeting, right, that has gone on way too long, right? We know what that's like. Meeting after meeting after meeting, right? And honestly, we could just send an email, right? Some of these squad has an email. But we're in these meetings, so what can we say to our bosses, right, when we don't want to attend a meeting or when the meeting's gone on too far? But we want to make them laugh too at the same time.
We're a woman. So you could just look at your boss and be like, sir, I think my period just started. I ain't sure, so I need to leave this meeting in check. First of all, he's going to look at you like, that was too much information.
Make them uncomfortable, make them squeam.
And that's the best excuse in the world to get out of anything at work.
Okay, all right.
I just started my period. I got cramps. I need to go home. I need a vacation day. I need to leave early.
Okay, so what about if we need a raise, right? We haven't gotten the proper raise, right? And we need to talk to our bosses. What can we say, right? And we're trying to be funny, but serious at the same time.
We can have this conversation on our knees. That's what you could say.
Are we praying or why are we on our knees?
Look here. The difference of what y'all doing on y'all knees might be the difference between a raise and an HR complaint.
Okay. All right. So being a woman has its benefits, right? Obviously, you can be funny, right? And, the best part about this is that we're just having fun, but honestly, don't try this in the workplace because a man will not know if you're serious or if you're joking.
That's right. That is true. And that's the hard part nowadays. And being a woman in this society where things are coming to the point where everything goes and you can let everything hang out, to me, I feel like it's getting a little bit harder to be a classy woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right.